Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay! Choo-choo!
Ah, yay indeed, Jimmy, yay indeed. All aboard the murder train. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. We are excited today. We have a crazy, crazy episode as usual. We're going to the Midwest, which is always fun. Quickly, before we get into it, thank you for all that you do for us. Reviews are helpful. 5 stars, whatever app you're listening on. Say something. It helps the show. We don't know why, but thank you for doing that. As well as head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets October 27th. It's coming up quick. Virtual live show. We cannot wait. Anywhere in the world that you are, we are coming to you on this day, and it's available for 7 days after that. It's our spooky Halloween spectacular. We're going to have so much fun, give you crazy Halloweeny murder, good shit. Get that just like a regular live show. That is shutupandgivememurder.com. Head over to patreon.com/crime and sports, where you get all the bonus stuff. Anybody $5 or above, a cup of coffee it costs, or above per month. You are going to get You're going to get lots of stuff. First of all, the whole back catalog. Want to binge something? There you go. It's like 150 episodes of bonus stuff, and you get new ones every other week. 2 new episodes, 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, which you'll have access to, of course, is the personal ads are back. Oh, my God, these are so much fun. We talk about, well, we find old personal ads, people looking for love in the newspaper in the 80s and 90s in black and white.
Pretty desperate. So I'd like you to stick around.
In print, man. So that's wild stuff. Check that out. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about, back by popular demand here, small town festivals, weird stuff. There is definitely some testicle festivals in there and stuff like that. Check it out. So much fun. We'll talk about those and bad bands and strange competitions. All that and more. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And of course, you'll get a shout out at the end of the main show there on Wednesday nights, Thursdays, whatever it is. So that said, I think it's time, everybody, to sit back.
Yeah.
What do you say, Jimmie? Clear the lungs.
Hell yeah.
Wherever you are, somewhere, hopefully not too public of a place, I think it's time to sit back and shout, Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmie.
All right.
Let's go on a trip, shall we? What do you say
shall.
here? We are going all the way to Iowa this week.
Oh, my.
Oh, baby, Iowa, right in the middle of the Corn Belt there. Is that the thing, the Corn Belt?
It's got to be.
This is a buckle of the Corn Belt.
Right in the corn cob.
This is, I got him right in the corn cob. Let me tell you something. Well, we are in Albia, Iowa.
Yeah.
Albia? A-L-B-I-A. Labia, if you mix the letters up. Labia, Iowa. There you go. Just switch the L and the A and you got something. It's in southern Iowa. Now, the actual murder takes place about 45 minutes away, but all these people are all Albia people. The actual murder takes place in Derby, Iowa, which has 90 people in it and nothing. There's nothing. It's a ghost town. They don't even have a store.
Awesome.
They have a post office that's open from 8 a.m. to noon. That's it. They just put all the boxes
That's all
outside.
the commerce?
That's
4
it.
hours of post office.
You can't get a cup of coffee in that town. So I'm like, all right, well, there's
Fascinating.
nothing happening there. So we'll talk about where everyone in this thing is from, and that's Albia. South Iowa, kind of south central Iowa. Population 3,713. Median income here, $43,877. That's median household income.
Yeah.
About $10,000 less than the national average. But the housing here, too, the median home cost here, $115,800. So it's a it's a very affordable kind of a middle of nowhere kind of place here. A little history: it was named after Albia, New York, which was the home of a settler who came here early on.
There's an Albia, New York?
Apparently. I know there's an Albany, New York, but maybe he's just like, I'm from up there in Albia or something like that.
Out there in North New York.
He just trails off his words sometimes, so they called it Albia. I don't know. He's on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1893, there was a coal mine explosion.
Hell yeah.
About 2.5 miles west of Albia. The Room and Pillar Mine had opened in around 1877. By the time of the explosion, the mining extended more than 1,000 yards from the hoisting shaft. So 1,000 yards underground.
Into the earth?
I guess into the earth. Employed 60 miners and 20 other men, I guess, for whatever the hell. One miner was killed and 7 died later of their injuries. And, not great. There's a huge, I guess, gunpowder charge ignited a dust explosion in the mine. And, this is a big deal, I guess.
The dust is flammable. You have to be shitting.
They have gunpowder charge used to bring down the coal, I guess. So they blow up shit so the coal comes out of the wall. Well, it ignited a dust. Somehow the dust is flammable. And if you light it, it caused some sort of flash freak explosion.
Jesus Christ, man.
It was pretty bad, I guess. So there you go. Basically through the 1900s, this is just all coal mining through this area. It's just little coal mines, and every town is a little company town. That's why you get these towns like Derby that have nobody left in them. Once the mine closes, everybody leaves. So it's one of those deals. I guess all of them basically were coal camps in this area. Reviews of this town, not about coal. This is for Albia here. 3 stars. What I like about Albia is that since it's such a small town, everyone knows each other, and the teachers at school have better relationships with students. What is not my favorite, that sounds creepy. I don't like that at all.
Take it easy.
What is not my favorite is that it does not have as many opportunities or stores here and have to drive to bigger cities to be able to do things. That's small town living.
That's what it is.
I also wish that school life was more challenging, but we do not have the resources to do so. What? You don't have the resources for curriculum? You don't have the books that tell you what teach more advanced lessons? What are we talking about?
They don't have the money, James, to make the teachers smart so they can teach good.
If we had more money, our teachers would be smarter. But they make up for it by being real close and snuggly with the students. So it's all right now.
What would you rather have? A real good feel of the Civil War or a real good feel of the inside of your teacher's mouth?
I think you answered your own question, pal. 4 stars. The police and fire departments in our town do their job. Okay?
Great.
That's helpful.
Were they paid for
When
it?
things catch on fire, the firemen come and put them out. Well, that's great. Wow. That's amazing. Terrific. When you order food, the fucking waiter brings it to you. That's good. Everybody's doing their job.
Thank God.
The fire department is strictly volunteer. We should be applauding these men and women who get called in at the most random times and are happy to help. Our the police department also does a nice job of patrolling the area and being aware of certain times of the year when more dangerous activities happen. I don't know what those are. I have no idea. Some sort of coal mining reenactments happen. I have no idea what's happening here. We'll find out what they do here with things to do.
All right.
Oh, here we go. Not a lot around here to do, put it that way. The Monroe County Fair, though, is in Albia, and they call it a Barn in the USA fair. Barn in the USA.
Like born.
Like, you know how that is.
It's a red and white thing.
You know. Jesus Christ. They have mechanical bull riding. You won't want to.
Every time I hear about a barn now, I think about your little factoid that you spit at me while driving. You fucked my life up.
With the rust of the way the red of the rust? Yeah.
You fucking destroyed me. Every time I hear the word barn or see one, I want to tell somebody.
If you don't know what we're talking about, barns, we're not going to have any time to do this now. Barns are painted red because back in the day, farmers painted their barns red because they used rust, basically. Right. It was basically rust water they put on the outside, and that kept the bugs from eating their fucking barn.
Right.
That's how it works. So then
That's my favorite information ever.
Became a tradition to paint them red.
Now we paint it red.
Now we don't use rust, but, there you go. So come on down and ride the mechanical bull here. It's a rancher-themed mechanical bull. I don't know what the fuck that means, but $5 per ride. Discover the excitement of what it takes to go 8 seconds on this bull. That sounds sexual.
Yeah, it sure does.
And then it says, come and test your skills on this one, partner. It's
a mechanical bull.
It's a mechanical bull. It costs $25 a night to camp here, by the way, if you want to camp at this thing.
At the Barn in the USA Festival.
Yeah. At the county fair, if you want to camp at the fair.
$25.
Go home and come back. What are you doing here? Jesus. They have a little prince and princess contest, of course, a baby contest. Doesn't say what they're looking for, just a baby. This one's the most baby that we could find. An open pet show. Walk on in. A hot dog eating contest. How many as you can eat in a specified time. I guess crunch there. The Bill Riley talent search. Oh, that's going to be amazing. I don't like this. There's categories, ages 2 to 12, and then seniors. That's this category for ages 13 to 21. I don't like this guy at all.
That's
Bill Riley. It's the seniors. My eye's on you. And then we close it all out with the exciting, as they call it, exciting weekend entertainment from the band Mud Flap Mafia.
Yes.
The Mud Flap Mafia.
Ladies
will take
naked from the waist down.
Yep. They will play following the mud drag, which is just dirty drag queens covered in mud. That's all that is. And then they're going to play there. So there you go. Beer garden open all day. Enjoy. Come on down.
What a time.
Now that you're excited about the Mud Flat Mafia, let's talk about a murder, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's get into this. We have to go a little back in the time machine here. Step back. Here we go. You got your bags packed, Jimmy? Everything?
Well, they won't. I got so many, they won't fit in this thing now.
Ready for time travel? Well, let's do it. We're going back to 1983.
Yeah.
83, baby. Here we go. It's a magical time in southern Iowa. It's going to be the fall, Thanksgiving week.
Oh,
Thanksgiving week.
The time when crime goes up.
See, I'm real good at this. I rather than wait a month and do this on Thanksgiving, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to do it now because I'm an idiot. So let's do this here. We need to talk about a young man, first of all, named Michael Jesperson. Michael Jesperson. He's 22 years old. He's a bit of a local jerk-off, I would say. Local cut-up jerk-off type of guy here. I can say that because we're going to go to November 23rd. It's a Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving, 1983. Now, he had just gotten out of jail on November 21st, Michael. So he's getting out just in time for the old holidays here. He'd been arrested for criminal mischief and couldn't make bail, so he stayed in. And they had a little trial pretty quick for him, there in a couple days. Not a lot going on, holidays. So he gets found guilty of criminal mischief and gets a 5-day suspended sentence.
Send him on home?
What's the point of that? We'll keep you for a whole work week if you're bad again. Don't make me take you back in Monday through Friday now. So
Depends on the mischief, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know what the mischief was, but it seems like it's probably... It seemed he's pretty mischievous. Let's just put it that way. In general, he's always mischievous, even with his father, as we'll talk about here. But by the fall of '83, he started hanging out with what's called a distant cousin. So I don't know what that means. A distant, like a fourth cousin or something related by marriage or one of those guys. A kid named Jeff Woolums, Woolums. Woolums.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a Seuss character.
That's good. Yeah, Jeff Woolums. And because Woolums can rhyme with a lot of things.
Sure can.
Especially made up like Susie words.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Pull them in your Woolum.
Out of Woolums. Yeah.
He's Fulham Woolum Pullum, and he came up upon the shroom, and he's
walking his Goolum.
He's walking his Goolum. It's the color through him, new colors and shit, it's polka dots. So either way, here he began living with Jeff. Jeff's 18 years old. Okay, he's his cousin, 4 years younger. Jeff doesn't live alone. Jeff lives in his mother's house with his mother and his stepfather. His mother, Susan, and listen to the stepfather's name. If this doesn't sound like a large, bald white man, I don't know what. Ivan Snow.
Yeah.
That sounds like that was Ivan Drago in Rocky IV's name, like in like the third draft of the script. And they're like, I don't know, Snow. It doesn't sound Russian. I get it. It sounds big and white and cold, but it doesn't sound Russian. That's a wrestler name, Ivan Snow. And he's like this big blonde guy. It's a terrible wrestler name, but it's still a wrestler name here. So either way, they started hanging out, and Michael ends up moving in with them. Lucky them. They get this 22-year-old criminal mischief guy. Mischievously criminal asshole in their house. Lucky them. So, but they become friends and they start hanging out. And Jeff's, he's kind of a jerk-off kind of kid, too. He likes to run around and drink and all that kind of shit, like every kid that age around there, I have a feeling at that time. So, either way, give you a little bit of a thing here. Apparently, Woolums has known for having a bit of a temper. He's known for having a bit of a temper, being a bit of a tough guy, quick to fight, that sort of thing. Woolums' father once said that Jeff was easily angered, but he would cool off in 10 to 15 minutes. So he'd blow up and then he'd get over it, kind of a thing, which that's good at least. But you can still kill someone in that 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes is dangerous. That's a lot of time.
Bad things can happen if you that. His father said, quote, if you said something he didn't much like, he'd want to fight, and he drank too much.
He's 18.
He's 18 years old. He's drank too much. He relates one incident here where his son actually punched him in the face, where he said, this is wild. He said, quote, I said a girl wasn't any good for him, and he hit me in the face. Just plain hauled off and hit me.
Punched his dad.
I don't think that girl's any good for you. Whack. Have that, motherfucker. Pow.
That's not punch dad words.
That is wild, man.
That's
Holy
too fast.
Shit, that's very fast. And at one point here, I guess, during this day on the 23rd, he's a hot-headed 18-year-old who drinks too much and is known to, for very little provocation, haul off and punch his father in the face, okay?
Yeah.
Based on all that, his father, on the 23rd, sharpens up a knife for him
For him.
Gets it nice and sharp, gives it to him, knows he's going out and says, it's illegal to carry that. So he's like, just so you know, it's illegal to have that.
Take this illegal tool with you and leave, but I want you to know.
That's illegal. Don't you dare fly off the handle and stab somebody with it. It's illegal just to have it, and with your temper, really, no one should have it. But let me get it good and sharp for you. There you go. Why don't you take that with you?
Good and sharp instrument of faster than 10 to 15 minutes of death.
You're already drinking underage, so fuck it. Why not have this too if that's illegal? So this is the 23rd. The kids are at the house. The kids. I'm Jesperson and Woolham's here.
The youngest adults.
Youngest adults, and they're leaving the house. And Woolham's father had sharpened the knife for him and given it to them and said, "Hey, you two shouldn't be carrying this, but I'll give it to you anyway." And that's how it goes. So they leave the house. Okay. They leave the house here around noon, or they get over to the Snow house. They leave around noon. Okay, that's Ivan Snow. That's the stepfather and Woolham's mother's house. They get there in Woolham's pickup truck and spend the day drinking, which is always good. Yeah, from noon on, they just spend the day drinking. It's the day before Thanksgiving, though, so.
Tomorrow we're going to put stuffing on top of this, and we're going to be right as rain.
It's going to be totally fine. We'll soak it up with turkey. Mom makes a dry turkey. Really soaks up that beer. Really soaks up the high life. Let's get into this shit. What do you say? That's how they are, though.
You get a mouthful of her instant potatoes that she didn't put enough water in.
Forget about it. They're crunchy, so the beer's going to help. They'll swell in your belly, though. That's the problem. Where do you hear how much beer they drink, by the way, over the course of this evening? It's fucking remarkable for this. I mean, holiday night or not, this is a remarkable amount of beer for two young men to ingest.
Okay.
Now, the night before Thanksgiving, by the way, did I say Halloween? I meant Thanksgiving. The night before, I think I said Halloween before, but the night before Thanksgiving, by the way, traditionally in every hometown is the time when everybody goes to bars and sees people they haven't seen in a long time. Yeah. It's just the way it is. Yeah. It's a drunk time, so that night is a drinking night. But it depends on what your idea of drinking is. Let's say you're going out beer drinking and you're like, I'm going to fucking tie one on tonight. I don't even care if I'm a little hungover tomorrow. It's all good. How many beers is that to you?
Me? 8 to 10.
8 to 10. And that's a lot. I know you. That's pushing
Holy fuck, that's so much.
That's pushing it. Yeah.
My stomach's going to hurt.
Yeah. You're really annoying after 10 beers. It's like you turn into a really, really different person. That's really irritating. But
it's a lot of beer. I'm probably annoyed with myself, so I want everybody else to be annoyed with me.
But the funny part is I'm not annoyed with you at all. That's the thing. I'm never annoyed with you like that at all. It's not even that. Other people get annoyed with you, and I'm just like, oh, let them be. I don't know what it is. So I take your side because you're my friend. So I'm like, fuck you.
10 beers it's just the volume, the sheer volume.
Oh God, that's so much.
It hurts so much.
Well, when you move, you hear it sloshing in your stomach. That's a bad sign.
Dear Christ, if I get laid after that, it's gross. It sounds like a waterbed.
You got to turn music on because otherwise it's sloshing back and forth.
Otherwise, I'm going to vomit on your face from the sound.
Do you hear that? No? Hear what? It's like water, but like not like going through a pipe. It's like it's just sloshing back and forth.
Hitting the side of a bag. It's really
weird. And then coming back. You know what I mean? Like take a box of wine, let some air in it, and then shake it. That's what it sounds like.
I'd rather drink 2 bottles of wine than 10 beers because 10 beers.
It's a lot of, and it swells. It's a lot of, it's a lot.
You got
the bubbles.
Piss so much.
It's a lot of piss. So they leave. They spend the day drinking and running personal errands. So,
oh boy,
they drink a few, go drive around some, drink while they're driving around, come back, drink some more. Oh shit, I gotta go do the thing over here. Oh yeah, okay, let's get in the car and go. This is what they're doing.
These were wild.
This is wild shit. So. Earlier from this day, from Wednesday, beginning at about 10 a.m., before they even got over here to the Snow house, they were drinking before that, into the night, basically, into the early morning hours of Thursday. And I don't mean like Thursday at noon. I'm talking Thursday at like 4. So from noon Wednesday to like 4 o'clock in the morning, that's one session for them. They consume about 60 beers in that time period. These two men.
I don't know how you do that.
2. One of them's 18.
Oh, 30 beers for for an 18-year-old.
Dude, how much has he been drinking in his life where he can put away 30 beers at 18? Like, you got to have a tolerance for that.
When I was 21, I used to go to my friend's house with a 30-pack for 6 of us.
Yeah.
I got a 30-pack, let's drink it. And it would disappear in a few hours, but that's a lot of beer.
60 beers is a lot. Even in a like a 14-hour period, it's still a lot of beers. Like, that's a shitload of beer. So that's all they're doing all day from 10 a.m. on, just drinking. So you know, obviously, good things are going to happen, clearly.
Shit, yeah. It's terrific.
It's amazing. So, yeah, Woolham's here, reputation of a fighter, punches his dad for an off comment. We understand him. Jesperson, not really all that different. Let's be honest. And really, after 30 beers, that description fits most people.
Yeah.
After 30 beers and being up for that long, they'll pretty much hit anybody. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So
you're probably going to be criminally mischievous.
At least mischievous. At least criminally mischievous. So early in the evening, they go, 20 beers in, let's say. Yeah. They drive to the home of Woolham's ex-girlfriend. Why not? Stephanie Clark is her name, in Albia, okay?
Why are we going there?
We're going there to hang out with her for some reason, where they're going to all drink and hang out and drink some more and then drink a little more, and they're talk and bullshit till about 10 o'clock at night. So now they've been drinking for 12 hours, and the 3 of them get in a truck and take off together. Let's all drive now.
She's going to hang with her ex and his cousin?
Her ex and his weirdo 4 years older than us cousin, distant cousin, who've been drinking for 12 hours. And she's like, I'd like to get in the car with y'all. This is good. This is all, everybody's got great judgment here, I got to say. So they continue drinking while they're driving around, by the way. It's not like they're pausing to drive. This is going to have a few on the way. Grab 2 for the road? Absolutely. Yeah. Let's go. So they made several stops at this point, too. After 10 p.m., where are they stopping? Also, there's nothing open around here. You ever been to Iowa? The whole place closes at fucking 8:45. Everything closes. Everything but the casinos closed. Yeah. That's it. So they they basically drive around for the next 2 hours or so. Okay. Now 45 minutes of that is traveling from Albia to Derby, because they end up in Derby at Jeff Woolham's house, where Jesperson is staying also. The Snow House is where they end up. Right. Okay, so here they go, Snow House. After midnight, they all continue drinking and, hanging out and bullshitting. And apparently Stephanie Clark's going to stay the night. I don't see anybody driving her home at this point. So about 2 o'clock in the morning, the Snows come home. Ivan and Susan, the mother and stepfather of Woolham, okay? They come home about 2 a.m., and how do you think they feel about this?
There is a party in the house, and y'all got a woman here.
Yeah, well, they feel like, shit, you're fucking A, let's continue this party, shit. We were mad the bar was closing, so hell yeah, buddy. So they join in. Everybody's drinking, dancing. There's music. They're dancing. There's 5 people there. Who's dancing at 2 o'clock in the morning with your parents? What's happening? There's my distant cousin, my ex-girlfriend, and my stepfather. Let's party and dance, baby. Woo! Middle of the night. All right. Let's get it on.
We've got more than the wrong side. Yeah, they've got the wrong side of 50 amount of beers inside them.
Yeah.
All bets are off.
That's true. After 50 beers, you start dancing with your stepfather and your ex-girlfriend, and you think it's great. Your ex-girlfriend looks pretty, and your stepfather seems like a cool guy after 50 beers. You know what I mean?
Seems fun to hang out with.
You're like, who's that? My 7th cousin? I love you. You're like a brother to me. I said you're like a brother, man. I love you. I kill for you.
Kin.
We's kin. Blood's thicker than Miller High Life. You know what I mean? It is. I tell you what. So, and I tasted both. Both the blood of my relatives and 56 Miller High Lifes this evening.
That's so many beers.
It's a lot of beers. It's so many fucking beers. So they're all hanging out for about the next 2 hours. Everybody's drinking, conversing, dancing, having a good old time. Everything is fun, right? Going great. About 4 o'clock in the morning, Stephanie Clark decides it's been a night and, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
She's not used to pounding 20 or so beers in 6 hours. She's sleepy
The
time.
Cowboys are on in 5 hours. I got to go home.
She's like 17. She's like, it's time for me to go home, by the way. This is ridiculous. So she should not go home, but go to bed. So she goes upstairs to a bedroom to go to bed. Now, Michael Jesperson, follows her up shortly. A little bit after that, takes a little follow after her, and they start getting it on consensually. This is consensual at this point here. They're all, goes up there. She's into it. They start getting it on up there. Like we said, after 50 beers, your ex-boyfriend's cousin, sure, whatever. Let's take a ride. Who gives a shit? It's really, everybody's hammered here.
He's 22 and she's 17.
So it's
not good.
It's an Iowa stretch, is what they call that. That's what's called an Iowa stretch, I believe.
It's a bit much.
I mean, 18 would be legal, still not really great, but legal. 17, that's what you call an Iowa stretch. Yeah,
she's on the back half of 17.
It's
it's fine.
If she's on the home stretch, it's all right. That's the Iowa stretch, is what we call it. It's the home stretch of 17. It's pretty legal,
almost.
Especially after a couple of 12 packs or so. That makes everything a little more legal.
You ever heard of close only counts and horseshoes and hand grenades? Also underage sex.
Also, yeah, a 22-year-old and 17-year-old intercourse is also close. That's the Iowa law. Have you ever read it? It says Iowa law statute. Horseshoes, hand grenades, home stretch of 17 shall henceforth be known as the Iowa stretch and be legal. All right, then. So
oh boy,
they're having sex. Now, at some point here during the act, he's had like 40 beers and he can have sex. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's an impressive fortitude right there. Wow, his dick just must be rock hard all the time. It just never ceases. So at about 4 a.m., this is all going on. Once they're getting it on for a little while, at some point, Willems comes into the room here.
Oh, no.
Jeff comes into the room and fucking pulls Jesperson off of her and says, hey, not stopping a rape, stopping two people from having a consensual sexual relationship. If this was against her will, this would be, a valiant, heroic thing to do.
Yeah.
But he's just interrupting two consenting, almost adults, I guess, having an evening here. And he says angrily not to Clark, to his cousin here, come on, we're going to talk. Which, this is the time to talk, by the way.
His dick's out, man. and
yeah, he's inside of this girl, and you're telling him it's time to talk now? We're not.
All right, we got to chit.
Okay, like this is strange. And chit-chatting when everybody's had a couple of 30 packs is not all that productive either.
Not prime time. No.
How about let's talk in the morning? That seems like a better idea. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So then Willems goes downstairs, okay? He says, you come downstairs and talk to me. So he actually listens, Jesperson, but before he does, he pulls his pants on, first of all, and he pulls out a knife and opens it up, according to Stephanie Clark, and said, quote, if I have to kill Jeff to win this fight, I will.
So, come on out, let's talk. That means let's fight?
That means you should prepare to stab me, apparently. Yeah. I want to talk to you. Those are fighting words in Iowa. Well, I guess anybody interrupting your coitus is fucking. Yeah. There's probably a mid-coitus fighting statute that goes on as well. I don't know about, but
you, me, chinwag, front porch. Let's
go, buddy.
I was in the middle of something.
God damn it.
I guess that's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Now, you can tell he's drunk because then what he does, according to Stephanie, is he puts the knife. He opens the knife and then puts it in his right front pants pocket open, which,
wow,
that can easily slice your pant pocket and give you a vasectomy that was unwanted. It's not really a smart move here. So either way, he comes downstairs, Jesperson. He and Willems meet downstairs and go outside to talk in the truck.
In the truck,
in the
quarters.
I don't know why they're talking. They're in a house, first of all. It's cold out, by the way, as we'll talk about, like below freezing.
Really?
Let's go sit in my truck that's been dormant for the last 5 hours or so and surely is fucking frigid in there. Let's sit in there. It's more comfortable. So for some reason, that's what they do. Willems in the driver's seat and Jesperson in the passenger seat. That's how this works. It's Willems' truck. So Clark, I guess, Stephanie, comes downstairs and watches after she gets herself together, comes downstairs and watches as they pull off together in the truck. Oh, so she's like, oh, shit, they're pulling off. So she runs back in the house and gets the stepmother and the father there, grabs Ivan Snow and said, hey, you guys come here. Let's follow them. I think Michael's going to stab Jeff. So he said he was going to. I mean, I don't know if that means anything to y'all, but maybe let's get in the truck and follow behind them and see what happens, right?
They went off a talk fighting, so let's follow.
They drove somewhere to talk, which is probably dumb. So they do that. They get into the Snow's car and they start to follow the truck. They're about a block or two behind them there, and the truck stops that they're watching, okay? Michael and Jeff's truck. It stops. And after a minute, Jesperson pops out. He pops out of the truck and kind of stomps his way toward the car that is behind them there. Now, Ivan Snow, the stepfather, gets out of the car, and he runs over to Jesperson and says, where's our boy? You know, our fucking, your cousin. Where's Jeff here? And his answer, Jesperson's answer is, quote, I stuck him. I stuck him? What is this?
We're just stick him because we got to go pick him up.
I stuck him. So at that point, Ivan knocks fucking Jesperson to the ground, punches him and shoves him to the ground and threatens to kill him. I'll kill you, you little motherfucker. But he doesn't know exactly what's happened yet. So he's like, let me check on that. I'll kill you later. Okay. So then the mother, Willems' mother, and Stephanie Clark all run over to the truck and look in, and they see Willems lying across the driver's seat, bleeding from the chest.
Oh, no.
They're like, okay, that's not good. Probably bad there. So they lift him out of the truck. They lay him in the back seat of their car, and they drive him to the hospital, to the Lucas County Hospital emergency room in Sheraton, which is about 14 miles from there. So it's not,
Jesus God.
It's not a short trip either. You know what I mean? Their review would be like to see a hospital closer to town. That would be their review of the town.
On emergencies, we got to go all the way to Sheridan.
Yep, yeah, that would be bad. With a bleeding, sucking chest wound, you really want to be closer to the other town. So on the drive here, the mother is attempting mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. She can't get a pulse. He's dead in the car, basically. As soon as he gets to the hospital, he's dead on arrival. He didn't make it from the car ride. He died somewhere along the 14-mile ride. It's a stab wound to the chest, approximately 3 inches deep. It caused damage to the heart and bleeding into the sac surrounding the heart. So
our heart is that close to the surface.
That's it, man. Oh, it's right. Yeah, right.
It's right there,
right behind your ribs there and your sternum. It's in there.
Damn it.
It's right there. So 3 inches is do 3 inches. It's half a dollar bill, half the length of a dollar bill and can fuck your world up. Absolutely. So at this point, while this is all going on, where the hell is Jesperson?
Tell me.
They knocked him to the ground, threatened to kill him, then ran over, got Willems out of the truck. While that happened, he ran away. Jesperson took off. Yeah, he ran away. Where'd he go? Back to the snow house.
Oh.
Of course. Why would you go back there?
Go back and wait on the pussy to show up.
Well, no, he takes a rifle that he had previously given to Ivan Snow. He gave him a rifle that was an old rifle that he wasn't using, gave it to Ivan, and he takes it back now. So he's like, I'm going to take this back with me. I didn't like his attitude.
Shit, yeah.
Any other gifts? Shit. What'd I get him for Christmas last year? I'm taking that shit back. So he then goes to a nearby house with his rifle and steals a car. Okay. It's a neighbor's car that he knows they keep the keys in it. So he borrows their car, I guess.
He got in an unlocked car and used a key.
But he drives toward Sheraton again, loses control of the car and runs off the road and crashes it.
Because he's been drinking all day.
That's the problem. He's been drinking. He's probably a little shaky from stabbings and being threatened to be killed, and he's just had sex, too. He's got a lot going. Shaky-legged, we'll call it. He's got some shaky legs. Not the sturdiest right now.
Yeah. A lot of conflicting emotions and feelings that'll make you a little sleepy.
After a few dozen beers and some sex, you want a nap. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate.
Oh boy.
Okay, it is time
next on the agenda to
go down. Not to run for your life. You know what I mean? Through the cold on Thanksgiving Eve. So he runs a car off the road, crashes that. He manages to go into another neighborhood and steal another car.
Wow.
Manages to steal another car. He's like, okay, takes that, drives out about a half a mile, loses control, runs off the road, crashes that car too. It's like Mario Kart, this fucking guy now.
He keeps hitting those goddamn bananas.
You can't this isn't a video game. He's basically in Grand Theft Auto. He's just crashing a car and then stealing another one, crashing that. Fuck, grab my guns and go over to here.
I prefer Mario Kart, and he just keeps getting blue shells.
Just keeps spinning around and going over there. So he eventually, after he runs this car off the road and crashes it, we'll talk about what happens. I'll give you a timeline here of the whole thing, okay? So, Jesus Christ. They get to the hospital. When they get to the hospital with Willems, they see it's a chest wound, and immediately the hospital calls the sheriff's department because most of the time knife wounds to the chest are, really a police matter. They're a police matter usually. So they do that. They call the sheriff's department. So during all this, a dispatcher notifies Deputy Sheriff Bert Muir, who went to the hospital to investigate the incident, right? You have to go there and investigate a stabbing. So when it was determined where the incident occurred, Muir contacts another deputy here, Rick Masner, and another deputy and the sheriff, okay? Masner was told to go to the scene. In front of the Ivan Snow, just go to the house where Ivan Snow lives and collect any information you can, basically. Go there, keep people away from the house, and see what you can find. While he's on the way to the Snow house, he asked whether he should stop any traffic that's leaving the Derby area. Should I stop? If I see somebody, should I stop them? It's the middle of the night. It's a good chance it's probably our guy. It's a holiday. No one's working on Thanksgiving. Yeah. So while he's asking this, a vehicle, this is fucking amazing, Jesperson passes him going the other way while he's asking, should I stop people? So after the two cars pass each other, that's when Jesperson loses control of the car and slides off into a ditch and rolls the thing. So he's probably looking in his rear view at the cop to see if he's turning around.
Drifted a bit, yeah.
Boom, he's rolling off there.
Overcorrected in the ditch.
Yeah, so the cops turned around and saw Jesperson run from the car. Which is fucking crazy. This is a car. This is his second car, by the way. Okay. That's the second car. The first car he ditched earlier after crashing that. He only made it about 2 blocks before crashing, by the way. He stole the car, drove 2 blocks, crashed, stole another one, passed a cop, crashed that car too. And then he runs away into the night, into the cold night. So the cop, who's all by himself out here, watches Jesperson run away from the car and run off into the night. Manzer, the sheriff, waits for assistance to arrive before going after him.
Yeah, because he might be armed, man. That's
you have no idea if he's armed, and it's the dark night. He could just be sitting in a field waiting for you to walk into it and take it down like a hunter. You know what I mean? So the sheriff then contacts the Highway Patrol and the Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the Sheriff's Department for multiple different counties, the Chariton Police, members of the Sheriff's Posse to aid in the manhunt.
Oh, my God.
They get like 40 guys are up to go look for him, okay? They also issue a warning to area residents to keep their homes and vehicles locked. And, you know, your homes, vehicles, beer fridges, and 17-year-olds, keep those all locked up because that's... We got a threat to everything. We got a threat to everything you hold dear, if that's what you're into. It's this fucking guy.
Yeah.
So, in addition here, the Highway Patrol sent a plane from Des Moines to help with the search as well.
Really?
Oh, boy, the planes from Des Moines are getting involved now. You know they're serious.
Deadass.
They are going to find these motherfuckers now, man. So... Then the sheriff said, quote, "We just followed his footprints in the snow."
That's the thing about running
in the snow. Yeah.
In winter.
You got to like get a big. Have you ever seen a movie? You got to get a big branch with leaves to drag it behind you. You got to do the whole thing. There's a way to do this, and it's not just running through the snow and hiding.
You got to be Spider-Man and swing from trees. Otherwise, don't run, man. Just don't go hide.
Yeah, you got to have you got to make it so your footprints go up to one spot and then disappear.
Yeah.
Like you take them in the wrong direction and then you drag a tree the other direction. And we know how to get away in the snow.
Run around a bit.
Like
a whole lot. Run some figure eights.
If you have extra shoes with you, make it look like there's more than
Very
one.
helpful, yeah.
It's helpful as well. Just put those on, run around too.
Run on all fours.
Yeah. Shoes that aren't your size too. Really confuse them. Like a size 18, just have those on. Like, wow, our killer's humongous. He's enormous. Look out for a giant man. On the lookout for just a huge, like a Shaquille O'Neal type of guy, like a big Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in height type of. That's what we're looking for. So either way, they follow the footprints in the snow. The footprints lead to a barn on the Archangel Farm, south of Chariton on Highway 14. I'm sure I'm pronouncing Chariton wrong. I'm sure it's Chariton or Chariton or some fucking nothing is.
Chariton.
I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past any pronunciation. I wouldn't put it past people. Who knows? So the cops go into the barn and they find, this is what they do. They burst in like they're, we're going to find Dillinger in there. You know what I mean? We're going down and it's going to be a shootout. They don't know what to expect. They got the whole posse's out there, planes circling around. It's a lot.
He's asleep.
They burst into the door. And he's huddled, crouched in a fetal position in the corner under a pile of lumber and scrap metal. That's what they find. Like a fucking...
Is that where he's trying to hide?
Yeah, he's trying to hide under there. He's freezing. He has no feeling from his knees down. He's taken to the hospital for frostbite on his legs and feet. Because he ran through the snow and then hid in a freezing cold barn and never warmed up. And
hilarious.
Eventually they find him here. So now they talk to him and he says they said, you stabbed your cousin. Like, three people saw. It was just you two in the car. Nobody else could have done it. Like, Bigfoot didn't run out of the woods and stab him and run back in. We know it was you. And he said, well, yeah, I did stab him, but complete accident. Super weird. Craziest thing happened. Let me explain, okay? You're going to laugh, really, when you hear this, honestly. Maybe you should have, 2-3 dozen beers first. You'll find it funnier. But we're driving away from the Snow's house. I was banging his ex-girlfriend. He didn't like that much, so we were going to have a little chat. And he started to argue with me, and he hit me in the head. He jacked me up with his right hand, started punching at me while he was driving, because that's normal. That's how you want to start a fight, while you're driving. So they began to argue. He said that Willems, once he, started hitting him good, he stopped the truck and they started to exchange blows.
Oh,
which an intra truck cab fight is awesome. That's amazing. That's hilarious.
Can't slip those punches, man. You're taking them. You're going to eat all of them.
But no one can really cock back or get any, it's hilarious. No legs are involved. It's just these little arm punches. That's so funny.
You're going to eat 30% power punches all day.
It's so hilarious, man. So they start exchanging blows, and he says that he grabbed the knife. He said the knife was on the dashboard. He didn't have the knife. Meanwhile, Stephanie Clark said he had the knife, but we know this is Willem's knife, by the way.
Right.
It's the one that his stepfather gave him and said, hey, this is illegal. Here you go. Have a good night. Take a 30-pack with you.
Get out of my sight.
Get out of here. So he said that he grabbed the knife off the dashboard, Jesperson said, to try to scare Willems into stopping the fight. Like, hey, I'll fucking stab you. Stop punching me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he says at this point, he held it out and said, hey, stop punching. And Willems, quote, lunged at him and accidentally impaled himself on the knife.
Okay.
He held it out and the guy just went, stuck himself to it. Like he was made of Velcro and he was sticking himself to the wall or something. Like he just, right in the chest and then fell back.
I got a magnet in my chest.
It was kind of a suicide if you think about it. I mean, I feel like he wanted to die, and he just knew that was the only way. He told me at one point he was afraid to do it himself, so I just held it out for him. No, but he said that's literally what he said. He impaled himself on the knife. So that is pretty fucking amazing. He said he didn't want to fight. She said I tried to get out of the truck at one point. Even that we were fighting. He was punching me. They said, well, your first reaction was to grab a knife. He goes, no, I tried to get out of the door, but he grabbed me by the hair, pulled me back in. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in by the hair. He said at that point, I had no choice but to grab the knife and threaten him with it. And then I'll be goddamned if he didn't just lunge at it, man. It was wild. Yeah. It's crazy shit, man. So he said, and the whole reason they said, well, then, this all sounds plausible. Sure, you're drunk. Two drunk guys get in a fight over a girl. That's happened a million times. A knife gets involved. A drunk guy can fall. Maybe he passed out into the knife. We don't know. Who knows? There. But the question is, at that point, why didn't you jump out and go, oh, my God.
Right.
I accidentally stabbed my cousin. Like, he lunged into it. Holy shit, let's get him help. He said, well, the stepfather knocked me down, threatened to kill me. When I said I stuck him, weird, right? That he would get upset at that. And then I had to take off. He goes, I knew they'd be taking him to the hospital, obviously. He goes, I only stole those 2 cars so I could rush to the hospital to see him, to make sure he was okay.
Yeah, only I'm incapable of driving 2 blocks.
I crashed the first one. He goes, but that's how determined I was to get to the hospital to make sure he was okay. I stole another car and then ran from the cops. That's what I mean.
When you fail, try again.
Try again. I was on my way to the hospital on foot when I got just too cold and had to hole up in that barn. See, that's what happened. Really a crazy night if you think about it. All right, fellas, I'll be seeing you. It's like
worst night of my life.
Hang on there, Chief. Yeah. So they said that they found no knife in the pickup truck where the incident occurred, but they did find the knife it was stuck in his chest still at the hospital.
Oh my God, he left it?
Yeah, they removed it at the hospital. Wow. That's how they ended up doing it. It was just a small folding pocket knife, just one of those, like me or you carry, on the road and shit. So there. They said they found that there. A nurse said that she found no heartbeat or respiration when he got to the hospital.
Wow.
So he was dead on arrival. They said that, by the way, when they found Jesperson in the barn, he had the loaded rifle right near him.
He was ready.
He had a loaded rifle, and in the car that he stole, the first one, they found more bullets in there as well. So he had, it was loaded, and he had extras in the car, but he only took the rifle and ran away. And he had it with him in the barn, but he was in no condition to fucking put up a firefight. I mean, he couldn't even feel his legs, for Christ's sake. It was over. Shit's over.
Car.
Yeah, you're too drunk to drive a car. How good of a shot you think you are? Let me ask you that.
How are you going to operate that weapon?
I bet 40 sober guys with guns that have been looking for you got roused out of bed on Thanksgiving morning and are super pissed off about it. They probably are better shots, I imagine.
Yeah, a little bit more reliable. Yeah.
You should definitely not fucking shoot at them. So he obviously goes to jail, clearly, for this, and his bond is higher than he can pay because he can't pay anything. So at trial, Stephanie Clark's a big witness. Okay, she's a big witness, the girlfriend, because she saw him say, if I'm not gonna lose this fight, I'm gonna kill him if I have to, and she saw him take the pocket knife and put it in his pocket, rightfully so. So she claimed on the stand that they didn't have sex.
What?
That's what she claimed. But she's the only person saying this. Even the Snows said they heard them having sex from downstairs. That's why Woolhams came up to get Clark, not because, I bet they're doing something, because they heard fucking headboard hitting wall up there.
They're loud fucking in somebody else's house.
Loud fucking in someone else's house with like groans and moans and everything. Like there was no, you know what fucking sounds like. You know what I mean? If you're an adult person, you've heard fucking before. Hey, that's fucking. There's no other sound that sounds like fucking. I know what that is.
Yeah.
That there's fucking, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Heard that before.
Yeah.
So they even say that they were definitely having sex. So, and that's not, they have no course in this game. That doesn't help them to say they were or weren't. They don't care. Either way, the guy killed the kid. So, also, she says that he had the knife. She testifies inside the home. Testified that she saw him put it in his pocket. He says, Jesperson himself testifies and says that I never had the knife in the house. I don't know what she's talking about. That's a big lie. She's a liar and a bit of a whore, mind you, as well. I'm just saying, everybody, you shouldn't believe her. That's all I'm saying. Look at her banging all these cousins. You don't know what else she's lying about. He basically did one of those, but that's how it goes. It's not much of a trial because they basically have witnesses. He definitely stabbed the guy.
Right.
They have witnesses of what happened. There's really not a lot. The only thing he can go on is self-defense, or it was involuntary manslaughter because he dove onto the knife.
Or there was a third person in the truck that stabbed him, which is it's impossible.
He was real tiny to fit in the cab with us, though. Real tiny man. You should have seen
the middle seat.
Right in the middle, just on the hump. He don't even care. He used a little lap belt, didn't even give a shit. Didn't care.
Put his feet on the four-wheel drive shifter.
Some bitch, man. I told him, stop. You're going to knock it out of gear. You don't listen. So the closing arguments, the prosecutor said, we clearly have an intentional killing. This is not voluntary manslaughter. He said that it doesn't matter if they were drunk. Because the defense argument was they were so drunk, who knows if he fell into the knife, if Jesperson couldn't have known if he actually stabbed him, who knows. So the prosecutor says, remember that Jesperson was able to steal 2 cars and jump out of a car and run away from a cop. So
great point.
He wasn't like blackout, passed out drunk anyway. He was moving around. He said the defendant provoked the fight. He pulled the knife. He can't claim self-defense. The only thing I don't agree with there is he didn't really provoke the fight.
No. Well, depending on if you call sleeping with her the provoking.
Well, that's provoking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if he would have just left it alone and had sex with Stephanie Clark and then, they went to sleep and then that would have been the end of it, there probably wouldn't have been any fight. So I think the other guy provoked the fight. When you literally pull someone out of a situation, you're asking for trouble, I think, at that point. Yeah. When you hear that, yeah, it's that there's a at that point
You
there's
literally pulled him out into a new situation.
that's fighting sounds. You know what I mean? So
This could have all been solved with Uber. Like,
oh my God. So much
a
easier.
Lyft, anything. If the two of them would have just got the fuck out of there.
Nope, too drunk, going upstairs. So they said that he can't claim self-defense if the force used is unreasonable. He said you can only use deadly force to resist deadly force. He said, and all Woolham's had was his hands. So, and couldn't even put any leg into it, for Christ's sake. They're in the cab of a pickup. It wasn't like he was kicking him in the face.
It's all shoulder.
It's all shoulder. So Jesperson's attorney said, quote, this is amazing. He said, we don't have a murder here. That's not what this is. The state will have you believe this is some crazy, some murder, some predetermined, cold-blooded a monster of a man sitting before you. But I present to you that what we have here is a tragic accident. Quote, a tragic accident, the result of stupidity, sex, and jealousy. I'll agree with all of those. Stupidity, sex, and jealousy could be the name of this episode. Let's be realistic here, but
it can still be criminal.
Yeah. He said, quote, she said, talking about Stephanie Clark, she said Mike put the knife in his right front pocket. Mike's left-handed. Why would he put it in his right front pocket if he's left-handed? That's number one. He said, I don't want you to rely on her testimony either, he said, because she's not a credible witness, this Stephanie Clark. She's not. Look at her. Look at her, little strumpet. What are you? Look at her, not credible. So they said that. How would you like? This is great. How would you like to have the fate of the rest of your life based on the testimony of Stephanie Clark? Little harlot. So they said that the defense is not claiming intoxication as an excuse. It's not claiming self-defense. What they're saying, quote, what we're saying is that it was an accident. There's no motive. There is no intent. Mike wasn't mad at Jeff. Jeff was mad at Mike. Yeah, but then he stabbed him. Jeff was ticked off for reasons Stephanie denied. He then said the state has a skinny case. Case. I've never heard it put like that before. I've heard it's thin. They got a pretty thin case. I've never heard skinny before. It's a new one. The state has a skinny case. The evidence, the logic isn't there, and the fate of this defendant is in your hands, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, if I'm sitting on a jury and I think he's left-handed, why would he put it into his right pocket? Because he's in the passenger seat, and you have
a truck. How are you going to pull it out of there?
You can't stab somebody from the left. You got to go from the right.
That makes it more premeditated to me.
Fuck yeah.
If he pulled it out of his left pocket, I think
so
he wasn't
worse.
intending to use it in the passenger seat of the truck. But out of the right pocket, the fact that he's left-handed makes me feel like, oh, that's not good. Not
that's
good
terrible.
for him. So
you just sunk your case, sir.
Yeah, that's not good at all. To me, it's worse. It's very perceptive there. So the judge here gives the jurors 5 choices for a verdict. First-degree murder, second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, or not guilty.
Acquittal, yeah.
That's it. Those are your options, which is it's a lot of instructions there. So they deliberated for about 8 hours on this. They come back here, and they announce that he is guilty of, what do you think, Jimmie? First-degree murder, they give him.
Wow, they got him.
Yep. He said he was visibly shaken by the verdict. One of the reporters said, quote, it was like someone popped his balloon. He just shrank down in his seat.
What?
It was the first time I saw him shaking over the course of the trial.
Popped
his balloon. He just went, he just deflated. That's a good way of putting it.
They got skinny cases and pop balloons around here.
Skinny cases, pop balloons, sex, jealousy, stupidity. It's a fucking lot of stuff going on here. Stupidity, sex, and jealousy has to be the name of this episode, right?
Feels like that guy just saw a kid get his balloon popped and saw his face go real sad.
It's like
that's why I used it.
It's like you're licking an ice cream cone and the whole scoop falls off onto the ground. You know what I mean? You watch it fall almost in slow motion as it splats onto the hot concrete, melting instantly, leaving you with an empty, crispy cone. That's what it's like, ladies and gentlemen. So
sad man.
Sad man. So he's being held over here. He obviously is being taken to jail. His mother and his girlfriend, he's got a girlfriend that came to trial this whole time, goes and visits him at the jail with his mom afterwards and shit. No, some other girl that he wasn't banging that night, some girl that he was actually with at that time.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild. So the county attorney said he's pleased with the verdict and wanted to thank the jurors. It was an 8-day trial, so he said that's a lot. The defense attorney said, obviously we're disappointed, and I don't agree with the jury's conclusion. If there was any one thing that damaged our defense, it would probably be the testimony of Stephanie Clark. You think?
Yeah.
If there was one thing that damaged our whole case, it was probably the evidence and the eyewitnesses. That was the problem, really, obviously. Besides that, it was good, but all that damn evidence and people seeing him do it.
Witnesses and the actions of my client. Real bad.
Yeah, and the actions and the words of my client as well. Besides those things, I feel like we should have really come out on top. He said, real skinny. It was skinny. He said that, that's how that went. They tried to get her stuff thrown out on hearsay, her saying that because I guess something happened where she told Ivan Snow something, and then Ivan Snow testified what Stephanie told him, and they allowed that in. That's sort of a hearsay thing, so that later on that'll come up here. But he's held over for sentencing because he hasn't been sentenced yet here. The cost of the trial, by the way, was about $25,000, and the cost of the appeal process could be about $100,000, which is that's a lot here. He has the county jail costs $25 a day to house people as well. The jurors were paid $10 per day plus 22 cents a mile.
Okay.
That is not a lot of money. So, that's not a lot. So
depends on how far they got to drive. Could be great.
Could be not bad.
Real lucrative.
$10 a day,
plus
not an hour.
A mile. How far are you going to drive?
22 cents a mile. 22 cents. What if it's $5? It's $1. Yeah, I made $11 a day this week. What is this? 1830s? That's fucking terrible. No wonder why everybody tries to get out of jury duty.
If they drove from Mississippi, it could be very lucrative.
Yeah, I don't think that's where the jury pool's from.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I drove in from San Bernardino, so that's going to cost you. So he appeals, like I said, on the grounds of hearsay, of the hearsay violation, saying that. Which is ridiculous because that basically says that if that one statement wasn't let in, that Ivan said that Stephanie told her that, then it wouldn't have been they wouldn't have been a conviction. At the same time, he also appeals on the grounds that first they shouldn't have let that in the first place. He's saying that statement, but at the same time, that statement's also very important because Ivan said that Stephanie told him that. That Jesperson said he was going to stab him rather than lose the fight, and Stephanie tells the cops that she said kill, that she said he told her kill. So they're saying there's a discrepancy between whether he said stab or kill.
Okay.
So he should be found not guilty and let out of jail right now. Yeah, because people who've had 30 beers apiece can't remember if someone said stab or kill 6 months ago. We should probably let him go for that, I think. Yeah, either way, the conversation happened. We just don't know whether it was stab or kill. So it's the goddamn difference. They basically say, hearsay or not, you'd still be in fucking prison, stupid. We have all this evidence. You're a moron. Keep fucking off. And he is pronounced, you, sir, may fuck off. Life in prison, no parole for him.
Whoa.
Nothing.
That's steep, man.
Ugats. First-degree murder. Life without, baby. That's it. Yeah, he got it all.
Incredible.
They gave him the whole shaft. They gave him more than 3 inches. We'll put it that way. They went deep dicking on him.
The whole sober dick.
Yeah. I feel like I would have been okay with second degree on this one.
I probably would be, too.
These are two drunken morons fighting.
Yeah, that's crazy. But he's a danger to society if he drinks that much and he's willing to stab a cousin.
He's certainly a danger to society, but I think second-degree murder would life with parole. I would have been, but life without parole seems a little steep for a drunken argument. Like that seems, especially because let's say Jesperson. Let's flip the roles. Say it was Jesperson's ex-girlfriend upstairs, and he went upstairs, and dude was having sex with his ex-girlfriend. Then he took the knife and started stabbing him. That's first. I'd be like, hey, fuck you. You can't do that. That's crazy. That's even though it's not premeditated, it's still whatever. But this I feel like is more of like when he said, I'm going to fucking kill him before I lose this fight, he slurred that bad, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys were drunk as fuck, and they were idiot. Like, I just feel like second degree. I feel like this guy could do like 20 years and get out and get a couple of DUIs and go on with his life, probably.
Premeditation takes a split second. If you pick something up with intent to kill, that's premeditation.
That's it. And that's what they were trying to argue, was that there was no premeditation. But, I mean, I think there was premeditation.
He unfolded it, put it in his right pocket. That's premeditated.
There was at least premeditation to defend himself, or, you know, so I don't know. Either way, but there he is, life in prison, no parole. Have fun. Yeah. If you like that story, tell us about it. Tell the world about it. Whatever app you're listening on, give us 5 stars. It helps the show out a lot. Say something nice about the show, too. It really does help. In addition to that, you definitely want to follow us on social media. We're at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, as well as you certainly want to go to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. And get, first of all, merchandise. It's all there. Tons of merch. And also get your tickets to the virtual live show. It's October 27th. It's the Halloween Spectacular. Anywhere in the world. It's available for 7 days after the 27th, too. You can buy it, watch it 20 times. You can buy it anytime in that 7 days. Do whateve you want. We're going to have so much fun. It'll be a spooky Halloween Spectacular. Come and join us. Shutupandgivememurder.com or moment.co/smalltownmurder. Either way, come out and see us. Also, patreon.com/crime and sports, where you get all the bonus material. Holy shit. Anybody $5 or above, you're going to get the whole back catalog you can binge. It's like 150 episodes, new episodes every other week, 1 crime and sports and 1 small town murder. This week, what you're going to get, this is back by popular demand week, basically. For crime and sports, personal ads, old people desperately looking for love in the 80s and 90s in newspapers, and we're going to laugh our asses off at it. It's so much fun when we do those. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to do small town festivals, fairs and testicle festivals, so much crazy shit. We'll talk about it all. It's so much fun, back by popular demand as well. Get those right now and everything else. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all that, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the regular show. You want to follow us on social media? Very easy. Look up Small Town Murder Podcast Hosts, or just head over to shutupandgivememurder.com and do that today. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. We will see you next week, everybody.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country, who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.